guys, welcome back to my channel. I have you up close and personal today because I am going to film a Sephora haul. It turns out all right. I was gonna film this in the bathroom, but it's too hot in there, so I came out here and I filmed it. I have this little travel mirror in case things get a little bit tricky, but other than that, I'm just gonna be looking right into my phone. Also my first time filming on the new iPhone. I can tell a difference as I'm looking at it. I heard that the back camera is really where it's at, but I just do not trust myself to film the entire video and I can't see anything until the very end, so let's just get right into it. I'm gonna start off with the stuff that I have that isn't makeup. First thing that I have is the Touchland Power Mist. This is in the scent Vanilla Blossom, and yeah, it's just really convenient. My sister got me one for my birthday back in August and I ran out of it. I knew that I wanted to get another one. I just think that they're really cute and I just like the scents a lot more than like regular hand sanitizer. So I picked that up. Also got a like standard size version of the Kayali Eden Juicy Apple fragrance. Whenever I get like an expensive fragrance, I always try to just get like the travel size, like maybe the rollerball version. And I really liked it. I went through it. And so I knew that I wanted to pick this up. And it just honestly smells like a sweet apple. I wouldn't say it's too sweet, but it does smell really good. I'm not very good at describing scents. So then I got the Maison Margiela replica candle. This is in the scent by the Fireplace. The way that I would describe this is that it just smells like a really fragrant fire burning. It's very, very fragrant. This is expensive and it's small. I would say that the burn time is not that great. You literally can only use it for a season. Like if I burn this regularly, it will probably be gone by the end of the year, but I think that it's worth it just to have it for this time of year. I always pick it up during the fall VIB sale. I would say that it has a really clean burn. It doesn't have like a lot of smoke coming off of it, and I personally prefer those fragrances, like just the Maison Margiela fragrances as a candle. I think that they're really, really strong as a perfume, so I like it as a candle. And then the last non-makeup thing that I got was the Fenty Skin Butta Drop. I guess I just kind of went with the hype with this because I didn't actually know the texture of it, and it's kind of like almost like a whipped cream. The way that I would describe it is maybe if you had a lotion that got kind of chilly, or like coconut oil that gets kind of chilly but not hard. And I got a mini. I didn't realize I was getting the mini, but I think that it will last because it doesn't like come off. Like you have to get in there and grab it. So I think that that would be really good during the winter to like put on your, you know, your ankles and your knuckles and everything like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into the makeup. The glasses are about to come off because I never wear my glasses when I'm doing my makeup. I do have my makeup bag next to me just because I have all my brushes in there just to make sure that I can get a full face going, and I am not going nowhere. I'm literally just filming this. As soon as I got my order, I knew that I wanted to film this. I am looking for something to put on my lips because they look dry. So I just have this Fenty Beauty lip balm. This is old, as you can tell, it's dirty. And I just always put this on as I'm doing my makeup because my lips get really, really dry. I already have my eyebrows done. I did it with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I'm in the shade Ebony. It's my favorite brow product. I always go back to it. I try different stuff and I just always go back to that one. I think that the shade matches my hair the best. And then I used it with this NARS Potted Concealer. I kind of got a shade that is a little bit lighter than my natural complexion, not quite a highlighted shade, and this is the shade. I don't think it's focusing. I'm not gonna try and pronounce it, but that is the shade. Oh, that's a good focus. This is a good camera, guys. And I basically got that product just for cutting my eyebrows. It takes me a really long time to do that, so I just wanted something that was dedicated to that, and I am gonna go ahead and put a little bit on my eyelid. Also really wanted, or I was really contemplating getting the Patrick Ta like his Major Dimension 3 eyeshadow. It is like $70. Of course, it wouldn't have been $70 with the sale, but I just don't do my eyeshadow enough to justify getting that. So I am gonna try. I'm challenging myself to do my eyeshadow up to the next sale, and if I still want it and I have consistently been doing my eyeshadow, then maybe I'll pick it up. So I'm just gonna go in with this Makeup by Mario Master Max palette, which I think looks really similar, but I heard that the formula is pretty different. Now I'm just gonna go in with this Milk Hydro Grip Primer. My skin has been looking really dry lately since it's gotten a little bit colder out. And so my skin will get oily, but I don't know, I just want to give it a chance. So that way, in case for whatever reason, because you know, as the seasons change, your skin's change, but I didn't get a primer, so that's what I'm gonna go in with, and then I will get to foundation. So actually, I have this Huda Beauty color corrector. It's called the FauxFilter corrector, and I'm gonna go in with that first. I'm really excited about this. I always see Monet using it. I got the shade, pretty sure it's Papaya, and I'm just gonna put on a little bit underneath the foundation. I have been, sorry, I'm reaching back to get my brush. I have been really trying to experiment with like going brighter on my concealer, but then I kind of think sometimes it's just a matter of making sure everything is color corrected and everything like that, and I just wanted to get like something dedicated for it. Hopefully that that looks decent. So we'll see. I do have a brighter concealer just to see, and I'm sorry if the lighting is changing. I'm sitting next to a window on one side, so hopefully it's not looking crazy. Okay, so I think the color looks a little bit better. The brightness on my new phone, like, I think it tries to preserve itself, and so it will be darker, because when I look back at the clips, it is fine. So anyway, over top, I'm really nervous about this Fenty Beauty Easy Drop foundation stick. I have wanted it since it came out, so I've been saving it for the sale. I don't think it's going to be full coverage because her Easy Drop, like the liquid foundation, isn't full coverage, but I am really curious about it. I kind of am nervous for some reason. I don't recall really like living and breathing for that formula for the liquid one, but I do like a stick foundation because it's just really quick. So let's see. I hope that it covers this. Let me just go ahead and put it on there. I will say first impression that I am really happy with the shade match. It's definitely not full coverage, but you can tell that it really evened out my complexion a lot. I'm really curious about my forehead because my forehead is like 2 different colors. And I always get nervous with foundation on my forehead anyway, but yeah, I really like that. I think my thing would be just as like, how's it gonna wear throughout the day, because it is so lightweight, but it is not oily, and it blends out really easily. I kind of want to put on a little bit more just to see the sun is kind of coming out of the clouds, which is nice. I can kind of get like a better idea of how it looks, but I would say first impression that I really like it a lot. It also covered the color corrector really well, and I think that I would say the color correcting is doing a good job because I definitely need some concealer. Let's not go there, but I think it looks really good. I really like it. So I'm just gonna keep it on all day just to, you know, see how it wears, and I will check in with y'all about everything at the end of the day. But I really like it. I think it gave me a really smooth base. So now I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty, her FauxFilter concealer. I got the shade Graham Cracker, and I'm nervous about this one. I will say, so I filmed a TikTok like kind of just unboxing everything, which is why I don't have any packaging, but I don't care for the packaging on this. It's like the applicator is big for the hole that it comes in, and when I took it out, it caught on our bedroom chair, and it ain't come out. Like, it's not a bad stain, but it's not moving, so I have to work on it. So I don't know if that speaks to the staying power, but the applicator is not the same as the color corrector. I don't really think anything about that, but other than that, the packaging is like identical, the size and everything, but the applicator itself is different. This is more rounded, I would say, and the other one is just definitely a standard doe foot. I am a little bit nervous about the shade. I don't want it to be like too bright. I did wipe some off excess on the whatchamacallit. I feel like I like it. I used to would go like right here with concealer, but I think sometimes even on my forehead, I don't really care for the way that it looks throughout the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that sit, which is what I would typically do, and then I'm gonna do some cream contour. For cream contour, what I would normally use is this Charlotte Tilbury like contour wand. I get the medium dark shade, and I've been using this LYS contour stick. They're fine. I mean, I don't know, I like this one more. Let's be clear, I like the shade on this one more. I think this one is a little bit easier to use. This is actually a new one. I've had this before. The packaging on the first one that I had broke, and it got really messy to the point where it was basically like not usable. So that's my only qualm with it so far. It's been fine, but I think that this one just blends out a lot easier than the LYS one. And yeah, I don't know, I really like this product, but I really only care for the contour wand. I have 2 shades of like the highlight wand, which comes in the same packaging, and I don't find that it blends out as easy as the contour wand. Like, that just, I don't know, it just blends out really easy. I feel like it's hard to overdo it with that, whereas with the LYS, I think you can overdo it really quickly. And now I'm gonna blend out this concealer. Hopefully this was the right call to let it sit like this, because I always let my concealer sit, but sometimes, you know, you might have a concealer that don't dry really well, or it dries really quick and it doesn't move, but this looks like it's moving pretty good. Okay, so I would say that, I don't know, I think this is always my problem. I always am afraid to go lighter. I don't know why. I feel like that's not the highlighted look that I am going for. I really like the formula. I think that it blended really seamlessly. I like how everything looks, but it's just not high, like a highlighted concealer look. So I like it. I mean, I like the formula of it, but it's just my error on the shade, which is always something that I make the mistake of. But I would say, as far as like the base goes right now, I really like it. I think that everything has blended really seamlessly. I think that it has really naturally kind of just corrected those imperfections, especially like with breakouts or any dark spots that I have on my skin. So I'm really happy with it, and I don't personally think that it looks heavy. I actually think it looks really natural, so I'm impressed by it. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of this Rare Beauty blush in the shade Grateful. I have been into a red blush this year. Like, I don't know, it's just something about it. I really like it. And if you've ever used Rare Beauty, then you know that you do not need a lot of it. Even then, even that might have been too much. I am noticing a little difficulty blending out the blush. I'm not sure what part of the makeup is not agreeing with it. I don't know if y'all can see really well, but it's almost like the blush has moved something underneath the makeup. I'm not really taking it as like a big deal against the makeup so far, just because I don't use that blush every day. I do have other blushes of a different color, but I am wondering what it is that that blush in particular isn't interacting with well. I'm just gonna go back in with the brush that I used to blend the concealer, just to make sure that the blush isn't overdoing it. So I think this is what I'm most excited for. This is the Hourglass Ambient face palette. I have the snake version. I do believe that this is the deepest version that they have right now. And I don't personally think it's very deep. This is what it looks like. I'm holding it because I don't want it to slam closed. This is kind of more of a finishing palette, I would say, so I'm really excited to get into it after I do my setting powder. I have the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder. I'm in the shade Blondie. I was gonna get this actually last year, like a full year ago, but I ended up getting this mini Fenty Beauty powder in the shade Honey. I honestly, this powder is just not it. It doesn't wear well, but I have been using it, so I'm just gonna use this. I know this powder wears really well. It's really mattifying. I had it already. It came in first in the mail. So I am just gonna put that on and let that set. And I just basically, like, if I was really getting ready, like actively trying to go somewhere, I would let the powder set while I'm doing my hair, which would probably take like 5 or 10 minutes to put it up or whatever. But since I'm not doing that, I'm just gonna let it set, and I will show you something else that I got that I'm not gonna be using today. I also got this NARS blush in the shade Exhibit A. It is this really, really beautiful red. I'm not gonna be wearing it today, just because I've already tried it, because it came early with that setting powder that I just put on. I'm not gonna wear it today because I really want to look at the Hourglass palette, and I already know what this looks like. Very, very pigmented. Literally, like, NARS blushes last so long. I have like 2 other NARS blushes, and it's just something like, once you get it, you will just never need another blush of this color, unless you don't like it matte. But I really, really like it. It's always sold out, so as soon as I saw that it was available, I immediately put it in my cart, and I'm so glad that I finally have it. It has been in my cart for maybe since last year, so I'm not gonna put that on today. It's extremely pigmented though. I'm just gonna wipe away some of that powder. I know I didn't let it sit for a long time, but I really like that powder a lot. I had it before years ago, like maybe like 2018, when there wasn't really a lot of shades and the powder that I had was too light. But I just remember like looking at it, like maybe walking around a store or something, and I remember thinking, like catching myself in the mirror and thinking like, your makeup is flawless. And I knew it was because of the powder, and I was young, yeah, so I know that powder is true, like it's definitely tea, and it's really worth it. So I'm just gonna go in with this deeper shade. I'm so nervous because sometimes bronzers are just a hit or miss, just depending on the shade or just like the pigmentation. I always feel like I try to knock off the excess. This brush is also a little bit dirty. This is mostly the new bronzer that I just put on it, but this brush is a little bit dirty because it's like my dedicated bronzer brush. So I am so nervous about it. I'm actually thinking that it's not gonna be as pigmented for some reason, because I feel like this palette is supposed to be like very lightweight. Like that's the vibe that I get from it. I'm seeing a little bit of color, not a lot, to be honest. So I'm gonna go in again and just see, but I've been knocking off a lot of excess. So I'm gonna go around the chin. I would say that it's very, very subtle. I do see a difference. It's just very, very subtle, I think, and I'm nervous to go harder, if that makes sense, just because I think that the lighting is impacting the way that it looks. Because when I look in my like travel mirror, I can kind of see, but I don't want to go heavy and then it looks really bad. I might just go for a little bit more. Y'all, I have had a time with bronzers, like some of them are really, really heavy. and you're not trying. And I think also this brush as well, I really like the shape of it because it can get into the hollows, but it picks up a lot of pigment, and so I'm always like knocking off excess, but I definitely like it. I can see, like I can see it's more on my forehead, I would say, that it's like kind of creating that contour. I think for blush, I'm really drawn to this outside color. This is really pretty, but it's something that I would use more on like a day-to-day. And then this is kind of like a mix. I don't know, actually, they're all so pretty to use, so I might mix them. So I'm gonna go in with this outside color and the inside color. These two I mixed. Ooh, yeah, that's pigmented. So that showed up right on the brush. Okay. Ooh, pinch myself. Oh yeah, I can see that on my nose. Honestly, the blush is really, really pretty. It's giving like summer. Like this just made me miss summer, because it's like just those blushes. The blush on my nose is, I like it, but it's too much. I like makeup when you don't really have to do that much. Like when it's just pretty. I'm just trying to blend a little bit off of my nose. The blush is there. The blush is definitely there, and I'm not gonna lie, I think that the bronzer, I think it's just very, like, you really have to get into it. Like, you cannot be afraid to get into it like how I am with any bronzer that I wear. And then I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's like a highlight shade in the palette, just a little bit, just to see what it looks like. It's definitely more of a bronze. I'm always tapping off that excess. I feel like if you don't, like, well, for me, it's like, oh, like, it looks good, and then you, like, catch yourself, and it's like, that is not what I thought it looked like. I feel like, ooh, that's really pretty. I'm not sure, maybe when I go back and edit it, I think that's the one thing with filming on my phone, is that I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it doesn't catch the dimension of makeup. Like even this new phone, or it's not that it doesn't catch it, but I can't see it, and like as I'm filming it, for some reason it just doesn't translate well. And I also wear glasses, so maybe I just genuinely can't see it very well, but it is very pretty. I'm not sure if y'all can see it. When I edit it, I'll be able to see if y'all can see it. But I'm gonna put on some setting spray, and then I'm gonna do like my regular mascara, and I will show you the last thing that I have from the sale. Okay, so I just put on a little bit of mascara, and while that's drying, I am going to put on some of this Rare Beauty lip oil in the shade Honesty. I swatched it on my hand, and when I wiped it off, it's actually doesn't come off as easy as you would maybe think it would. That feels super wet. That feels extremely wet. Okay, that's how it feels. I like it. I think I could go with a lip liner. It feels wet like water, like to the point where it caught me off guard. I like it. It's pretty, but what I do think it would be pretty with is like a brown lip liner in a different eyeshadow. I think it's highlighting the eyeshadow in like not necessarily the very best way, but it's definitely natural and light enough that I don't think that, like, it's not the moment, if that makes sense. Like, it's just definitely like a really wet balm that you put on your lips. It kind of reminds me of the Fenty Beauty thing that I put on, but it's just a different, actually has a little bit of color with it. It kind of has like a minty feeling as well. I don't know, that just caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting that, but maybe I just haven't read and I, you know, need to know what I'm putting on my mouth. But yeah, I would say that it like genuinely felt wet on my mouth, which caught me off guard, but I like it. I think it looks juicy. It just doesn't go with the makeup. All right, so I have my glasses back on so I can actually see how I look. I like it a lot. I think that Everything is like very natural. I actually don't mind the lip as it's growing on me. I'm going to let everything stay on for, you know, all day. I would say when I went to spray my setting spray, because I didn't bring it out here, I really like the cheeks, so I think that I really like that Hourglass palette. I will say that it seems a little bit dry, like when I went to go look in the mirror up close. I don't know if y'all can tell. I just think that, and it's my skin, definitely. I didn't like really prep it thoroughly as far as like having a moisturizer, so that could be it, and that could be all. But I do think that I didn't notice that before I put on the concealer. So maybe I waited a little bit too long to blend that out, because I actually kind of felt a little bit of like, kind of didn't seem like it was that easy to blend out. So that could just be my error. That's not the way to use that product. It needs to be blended ASAP, which doesn't surprise me because I accidentally got it on my couch and it didn't move. So, but other than that, I think that this is gonna be a good base in long wearing because it ain't moving, so that's good. And I will check in with y'all later at the end of the day after a few hours to see how everything has held up. And I just wanted to show y'all how it looked in like artificial lighting. I'm really sorry about the bathroom fan. It comes on automatically with one of these lights, so yeah, I think it looks good. I will say that the contour, I'm not really seeing it. Like, yeah, I'm not really seeing the contour. I don't think it's as dry. It's just definitely a matte look, which is fine. I think that my skin gets really oily, so I would like to see the lasting power throughout the day. And it's been about 10 minutes since I put on that lip oil. I would say that I think that the shade is still pretty there. It's so thin, so I know that that's not going to be something that lasts throughout the day. But it's definitely got like a little minty, you know, something to it. It's not plumping. I don't notice like my lips looking different or anything. It does not burn, but it definitely has a minty sensation. All right, y'all, so it has been about 4.5, 5 hours, and I just came to update you guys that I am about to touch my makeup up because I am gonna go somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to update past this because technically it wouldn't be a true update. Please excuse this mirror. I would say that it is doing pretty good, but there's a little bit of shine. If it was like any other makeup, or sometimes it can, like, my makeup be not even on my face. Like it's time to just redo the entire makeup. So I'm happy about that, definitely. But I am just gonna reapply a little bit of powder. I also put on this like e.l.f. eyeliner a couple hours ago, and I honestly really disappointed by it. It doesn't look good at all. So yeah.